Hey, it's Wednesday for real. It is the 6th of May, and we're here with our morning close-up of kittens. So I took the Belle's whistles, the three Belle's three little kittens to the vet this morning already and dropped them off for their spays, which they're getting today. They'll probably be back around 4 this afternoon-ish, something. But they probably won't be on the stream even then, especially because sometimes they come home a little groggy. We don't always put them on the stream right away after they get back from getting spayed. Um, but the trip out there went just fine, and I expect their spays are going to go just fine. I know with almost every class of kittens that we have, when their mom cat has to spend time away from them, we always hear people saying, "Oh, she misses her kittens. She misses her kittens," or I'm just asking sometimes, "Do you think she misses her kittens?" And almost always, I think she doesn't. Most of the time, my answer is she doesn't seem like she misses her kittens. I think a lot of times people will sort of project their own feelings, and I think most mom cats that we've had, just in general now, are really clear on the fact that, when they're done with their kittens, I think the most extreme example of that was Brooke, of course, but most of them are on that spectrum somewhere, and usually towards the Brooke end. But I kind of got the impression, I'll have to say, last night when I had to separate the kittens from Belle because I didn't want them nursing on her. I kind of got the impression a little bit that she did maybe not miss them, but she just, she wanted to know where they were, because she kept coming up to the bedroom door to check on them and even brought a flat mouse and left it at the door, I guess, for them, which is just cute. She's just, Belle is, as we know, and as we mentioned, Belle is had been a serial mom cat, I guess, that she's done this a lot of times, and I guess it's now something that she's just sort of accustomed to doing. So it'll be really, really interesting to see how Belle develops once she goes with her adopter, which, by the way, is scheduled to happen on Saturday afternoon. So Belle will be going home Saturday afternoon. I'm very excited for her to finally find a place to call her home forever, which is awesome. I'll be a little sad to see her go because she was a real friend to me, and just a sweetheart. So Belle's going home on Saturday, and I think it's gonna be real interesting to see how she develops now that she's past that stage in her life where she's raising kids all the time. I think my guess from what I know of Belle's behavior is that she is going to be a real sweetheart, and she's just going to take that same energy and apply it to raising her big, dumb, hairless kids, the humans. I imagine she's going to spend some of that same mom cat energy bringing things to her humans and checking on them and making sure that they're okay. That's just my guess. I think that's how she'll be. We'll see. So far, she's shown me a little bit of that. She tends to come around to me and check on me more often when her kittens aren't around. This morning already, she was coming to my office, trying to see how I was doing, and you know, um, yeah, she just gives me the impression that that's going to be her deal. So let's talk more about these kids while we're in here, though. We'll go see if we can find Belle when we leave the room here. I just moved over here because I saw little Banter here playing with the litter, and I thought maybe Banter would want to be put into the litter box. But I did put Banter in the litter box, and she just jumped right back out. Speaking of the litter box, last night I spent a little bit of time trying to get each of the kittens to use it as a good practice. And uh, who was it? One of them did, and now I'm having trouble remembering which one it was. I think it was Blarney. Somebody will correct me because people were watching. But one of them peed in the litter box with some prompting. What I do typically for kittens that are a little slow to learn about it. Okay, it was Scuttlebutt. Thank you. That was my other choice. So what I do for kittens that are learning the litter box and that need a little bit of prompting to get it right is I put them in there, and then I take their little feet and I help them scratch their feet in the litter, and sometimes that's enough. Just that motion is enough to sort of set them off, and they'll start using the litter box right there and then. And then when that doesn't work, another thing I sometimes do is wipe them so that they will pee or poop while they're standing in the litter box. I think Sara Donner calls it milking the kittens. Is that it? Squeezing the kittens? I don't know. Something like that. She's got a term for it that I thought was real cute that she shared with us, and now I can't remember it now that it's important. But at any rate, I'll put them in the litter box and sort of wipe them and get them to start going in the litter box. And so that's what happened with Scuttlebutt last night. I used a little wipe and got Scuttlebutt started, and then juicing. Thank you, Will. That's the word I'm looking for. Juicing the kittens. Yes, so perfect. It's a great term. Anyway, so I juiced Scuttlebutt in the litter box, and then Scuttlebutt kept going in the litter box, and that was great. And then just a couple minutes later, Scuttlebutt decided it was time to poop and went to the litter box to do it, except did it outside of the litter box. She didn't go into the litter box. She did it just right outside. But that's still the first time that I've been aware that any of them have pooped on their own at all. So that's just progress all by itself. I'm really happy about all that. And I think it's a good sign. I'm going to keep working on all of them. Now, the other ones, I tried doing the same stuff with the other ones, and none of them were having it. So it takes a little more practice. Also, one of them, and again, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them did go pee over here on the rug. Actually, decided that this looked like a good litter box in the middle of the ring here. So you get a little bit of that to start out usually, but it only takes them a week or two before they're consistently using the litter box. So that's how we do. I do my part to try to teach them and to get them to do the right thing. In other news for these kittens, I know that since I brought the beanbag chair in here, they have been spending a lot of their time in the beanbag chair. It seems like it is the new fun place to be. And it's a little tough to get any of them on the camera the way that things are arranged right now while they're in the beanbag chair. So I'll be moving the cameras around when I get a spare minute today, and we'll get a better view of the beanbag chair. But it might not happen right away because my priority for this morning is all of the last minute cleaning and double checking I want to do before DJ comes home for the first time in a month. Last time DJ was here was when these kittens were born, and they are almost 5 weeks old now. So it's been a while since she's been here, and there's plenty of stuff I want to get ready for her. So that's the thing I'm going to do first, and then when I have time after that, or if I catch a little break in the middle or something, I'll try to remember to adjust the cameras and some of the various other kitteny things that I have to get done. But DJ's homecoming is the big event for today as far as I'm concerned. And if you're wondering, she probably will be home this evening around, I don't know, I'd put it around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. It depends on how long it takes her to get stuff ready. She finished her last shift, her last night shift. Actually, I guess it was her last night shift of her intern year. So she finished that this morning, and she let me know that it went well. But she went to her apartment then to have a nap before she comes home, which makes sense. I don't want her driving all the way home when she's tired from her night shift. So she's going to get some sleep in first, and then she's going to come home. I know Private Idaho was joking when he asked. She asked. I don't. I shouldn't try genders on people that are on the YouTube that I don't know too well. But anyway, Private Idaho just asked, and I know you're joking. Who's DJ? But I know there's also a lot of people that are watching that are wondering that and aren't joking. Yeah, DJ's the better half of Kitten Academy, and I know we've gotten a lot of new viewers in the last month. So I know there's going to be plenty of people who've never seen DJ before. But she is a sweetheart, and if you haven't met her yet, you're going to love her. She also hides quite a bit from the cameras. I think that's where the kittens tend to learn it. So you may or may not see a whole lot of her, but I know you'll see some. Let's see, I was going to cover something else. Oh, yes, another important thing is this weekend, Saturday night, we are going to make an appearance on Sara Donner's Quarantina-palooza live stream that she's been doing every Saturday night. And I'm really excited about that. And I had planned all kinds of things that I wanted to say better than I did yesterday when I talked about it. And I just, now it's all gone from my mind. So I'm not going to do it any better right now. But it is worth mentioning that it's a wonderful show. Sara Donner is also a kitten foster and also a wonderfully talented musician and just in general, an amazing creative person. So I'm really excited to appear on her stream on Saturday, and we're going to do a little Q&A or AMA or just a chance for, I guess, people to ask questions. It's her show, so I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but we'll only be on it for about 20 minutes on Saturday answering questions, and because her stream is, I guess, not quite as kid-friendly, there's some language and some concepts that we talk about there that wouldn't go over on the Kitten Academy stream, but that might just be a chance for people to ask questions that I wouldn't normally take on our stream. So it might work out as being something really fun and interesting to do, and I know I'm looking forward to it. So good time. That's this Saturday, 7 p.m. Is when her stream starts, and we're expected to be on about 7:45. And if you need to try to find that, I did just tweet her announcement about it, and I know there will also be a post on our Facebook, and you can also just search on YouTube for Sara Donner. It's Donner. Oh, and Sarah is with an H, Sarah Donner. And check out her stuff if you like. Just keep in mind that, for instance, she sings songs with explicit lyrics, and her fostering also, without going into any detail, she fosters a lot of real hard cases, so she couldn't possibly have a no SADS policy like we do, and I think it's great that she doesn't, and that she does what she does is fantastic, because somebody's got to be doing that really hard work, and I just can't tell you how glad I am that she is doing that. So there you go. That'll be this Saturday. I'm excited, and she's just wonderful people. What else do I need to tell you all about while we're doing this? DJ's coming home. The older kids are at the vet today getting their spay. Belle is getting adopted on Saturday. Belle's going home. And you know that DJ's coming home today, and that I promised to rearrange the cameras in here so that these kittens are easier to see. But I don't know exactly when I'm going to get around to doing that. Today, I'm sure. Oh, also, I should also mention that I'm still planning on moving these kids downstairs, and I'm just trying to figure out the right timing to do it. I don't think that doing it today or when the whistles are just coming back from their surgery and might want a familiar place. I think that they should have that. So I don't think doing it today is right, but probably by this weekend, question mark. We'll see. Look at this big old banter belly. Look at it. Banter. Look at that belly. Oh, I know. It's a big one. Hi. Oh, yes, thank you, Sophia, Logan and Custard. I did promise you guys an update on Logan and Custard, who went to the vet the other day because Logan has been having a few more pee incidents than usual. And my suspicion, still, my intuition about it is that it's a result of Custard being a little bit more bullying than usual. And my intuition about that is that it's springtime and everybody's just a little bit more excited. So I got the results from the vet yesterday about the blood work and the urinalysis, and it's all great. They are perfectly normal, perfectly healthy numbers all across the board on everything for both of them. So that's good news. They're both very healthy boys. Um, of course, it's also kind of bad news because it means that there's not like an obvious, easy to treat medical reason behind any of it. So there's that. Um, but I think it's good that to know that they're all perfectly healthy. I talked a little bit before about CBD oil and about other stuff, and I was just rambling when I was talking about that. What we're going to do first is I started Custard on the Prozac fluoxetine today was his first day getting that, and we're going to just see if it makes any difference. And then after we've tried that for a little while to see what happens, we might try increasing Loganberry's dose to see if that makes any difference. And then from there, we will continue to evaluate possibilities. I also am in favor of the idea of maybe taking them off of it just to see if it actually makes any difference, because I'm skeptical that Loganberry having been on the Prozac is actually making any difference to him at all. Which isn't to say that it isn't. It's just to say I don't know for sure. It's hard to tell. It's really hard, very, very difficult to evaluate these things. So anyway, our initial plan is to get Custard started on it and then maybe to up Logan's dose and then see where we go from there. But I also think, and this is something I wanted to talk about that I could just ramble about forever, and we're already at 20 minutes. So I'm going to keep talking for a while, but I'm probably not going to get as into this as I would be interested to talk about it. Which is my intuition about cats, and how I like to say, my intuition is that Loganberry's doing it because Custard bullies him, and my intuition is that Custard's doing that because he's just a little hyper from springtime and all that stuff. And the trick, though, is that really is just, it's my intuition about it, and I completely recognize the fact that it can be very difficult to know what's going on for sure, and that oftentimes my intuition or anyone's intuition about a situation will lead them astray. It doesn't necessarily always point you in the right direction. A lot of times you get an idea in your head about the way things work, and then everything you see, you evaluate based on that idea, and it just sort of feeds on itself. You notice like I will notice, oh, hey, look, I saw Custard run across the room. He's obviously a little bit more excited now than he normally is. Or, I'll see Custard bully Logan, and then the next day I'll find some pee, and I'll be like, see, that proves it, obviously, that he's doing it because he got bullied by Custard. But that's not necessarily true. These, again, very difficult to evaluate these things, and a lot of times, our human nature is to look at something and try to determine cause and effect and try to connect things even when maybe they're not connected at all. And that's why we get things wrong so often. And I am well aware of that fact. So I'm always very skeptical about a lot of things, including my own intuition about what's going on. And to that point, the vet suggested a couple things that go against my intuition, that I think, you know what, there's no way that's the reason. There's just no way. It just doesn't add up to me. But I think it would probably be good for me to try playing with some of the stuff that she suggested anyway, because I could be wrong. And it's the kind of thing that, I wouldn't have taken maybe or wouldn't have thought myself because my intuition goes a different way on it, right? Okay, so that's a lot of talk to just basically say I don't trust myself to get things right when I'm guessing about stuff. And I guess I could have just said that and it would make just as much sense. So the vet suggested a couple things. First off, the vet suggested that maybe Custard needs more stimulation, and I think actually when I say there's stuff that I wouldn't have thought, that's not. I do think that probably is a factor, because DJ is the one that usually is all about making sure that Custard is entertained. Custard is her favorite, and she's been away for a month. So I do think that yeah, there's a strong possibility the fact that DJ's been away for a month and Custard hasn't seen her could be triggering some of his acting out, right? That does make sense. I don't think that's necessarily all of it, but it definitely suits my intuition. The other thing, though, that she mentioned is we've got our litter box arrangements we talked about a little bit, which our litter boxes are in two rooms, basically two rooms in the house that we've set aside specifically as litter rooms. And we put in ventilation so that they always have a negative pressure. And that way all of the air goes outside rather than coming into the house. And that way we don't smell the litter boxes. It's a very fancy setup. And I'm really proud of the way that we've done it. And you are digging in corners, and I think you're looking for a place to poop. And I'm going to put you in the litter box, but I can't film it because Mom's litter box is very dirty. I need to talk about that too. So anyway, the litter boxes, we've set them up in a couple of rooms in the house, and it's a very nice setup. But the thing that the vet said was, hey, if you put all of the litter boxes together, which we do, the cats might kind of just see it as one big litter box, and therefore, they don't really feel like they have their own places to use. And again, that's something that doesn't really suit my intuition, but I can see what she's saying. That there's a possibility that she's got a real point there, and that rearranging the litter boxes in those rooms might be a real good thing for us to do. So that's something that I'm probably going to try also, just to see if it makes any difference for anybody at all. And speaking of things to do and the litter boxes, this is now a completely different subject. Um, you guys know that we have been feeding Gabby dry food, the RC Mom and Baby Cat dry food that we used to feed to all of our mom cats. She's had that for a few days since that day that she was kind of sick. And also that we've been giving her the RC Mom and Baby Cat wet food, which she's been ignoring ever since the dry food showed up. But the kittens are eating it a bit. And since she has been on the dry food, the RC Mom and Baby Cat food, which is not a low carb food by any means, she's had real bad poops. Oh, they're just awful poops. So right now, I actually took her dry food away this morning and put it in a drawer, and I'm going to give it back to her because she needs to eat more. That's the important thing right now is having her fed, even if she has the really bad poops. But I'm going to try to get her transitioned off of that, and my goal, of course, would be to get her transitioned off to the fancy feast. Oh, it just grabbed the camera. I'd like to get her switched back to the fancy feast, but even if not, if I have to feed her dry food, I might try switching her over to the Dr. Elsie's or something. So we'll see about that. Yes, Blarney is our big explorer, our big climber. This is Blarney here, the one that we've been watching run around and chase Mom, and they haven't figured out how to get onto the top platform yet, but I don't think it's going to be long before Blarney's got that one working. Playing through the wall because you scratch on it and make those little noises, and then it's really fun when you can't see who's inside. As soon as I moved out here, he turned around to play with something else. That's fine. Blarney. Hi, Blarney. Well, we should get some weights today just to see how everybody's doing, including Mom. Of course, now they've all started nursing. But let's do that. Since we're at 25 minutes, we need to sort of get this moving. Oh, speaking of other stuff here, I just noticed these blankets and things that I put out here for a photo shoot. What was I saying? I was saying that yesterday I did a graduation photo shoot with Belle's Whistles. I thought it would be cool to get their graduation shoot in before they went to the vet, so they still had all their belly fur and they weren't all shaven from their spay surgery. And the photo shoot, I think I probably got some really good photos, and I also think I've been kind of angling to get a new camera, and I think this photo shoot might be the proof that I need to prove that I need a new camera. So we'll see about that, but I think it's going to be some good photos, and I'm excited to get them developed. I guess I say developed. You know, I sit down and I sort of tweak most of them in Lightroom to make sure that I don't Photoshop them, but I do. Sometimes I have to adjust the exposure a little bit and that kind of thing. You know, so I'm excited to get that done and to have those be ready to be published. But I probably won't get to it today. We'll see. I just moved over here with the scale, and of course they get up and move down there towards the really disgusting litter box, and it's so bad because she's been having those bad poops. Okay, we're gonna move down there too. Let's just do this right here. Oh no, you just peed. Oh, he just peed. Oh, for crying out loud! Outside of the litter box on the cardboard, which is very close. Like she's obviously got the right idea. Right idea. Bad execution. All right, hang on. How much of this can I take care of? Well, I'm still filming Kittens and not filming what I'm doing. All right, that'll do for a cleanup for now. Good. That was Blarney that just did that. She just peed outside of the litter box. It's fine. You're going to learn. I knew that's what you were angling for. I knew that's what you were doing. I put her in the litter box, so we'll see. All right. Very close. Very, very close. Okay. Let's do this. Let's weigh some kittens, and we can just start with Blarney since now she's done it. She's sniffing the spot she peed. Yes, well, good job. Let's get you over here for a weight, though. Oh, wrong units. Okay, ounces. 19.4. That sounds good to me. 19.4, good. Okay, now I got to steal one of these nursing kittens so we can weigh them. Let's do Banter first. Banter, I know. Right there. Just for a second. 20.3. Okay, 20.3, good. Push you right back where I found you. There you go. And Scuttlebutt. Oh, Scuttlebutt's like, no, don't take me away. Come on, girl. There you go. Stand right there for just a second. Just wait. No, oh no. Oh, I didn't get to read it. Back on there. Oh, 18.8. All right, well, that sounds a little light to me, but we'll go with it for now. I know that you guys are technically in the weaning process, and Scuttlebutt's actually the one I've been seeing eating the most of the wet food, so at least we know that that's happening. It's not unusual for them to lose a little weight while they're weaning, and if they're still very active and I see them eating, then I'm not too concerned about it. But actually having gone down from yesterday doesn't sound fantastic, so I'll look into that. If we have to, I'll give Scuttlebutt some supplemental feedings. At least right now, I'll just let her keep nursing. I wanted to weigh Gabby, but I'll save weighing Gabby for when she's not busy nursing her kittens. All right. Well, at any rate, they're all nursing now. So let's leave them to it and just see if we can find Belle real quick to wrap up this stream. Meanwhile, let me say my wrap-up stuff, which is thank you guys so much. You can see the little spot where she peed. That's just wet, though, because I cleaned it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this close-up this morning on Wednesday. I do really appreciate it. Thanks for the prompts. Oh, there she goes. Belle, I know you'll come back to me if I ask. Why don't you come back up here? Come here. Come to me. Yes, I knew you would. I knew you would. This is how she is. If she sees me coming, she'll run away, but then if I call her, she comes right back. Oh, so did Smokey, though. Smokey's like, what are you calling cats for? I'll come. All right. So, thank you guys so much for joining today. I do appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in for the cats and the kittens, and maybe some of you tuned in to listen to me ramble about a bunch of nonsense today. I appreciate that, too. Thanks for the chat. And thanks to the mods for being awesome. And let me see how quickly I can recap all the important news. Belle's kids are at the vet today getting their spay. They'll be back around 4. We will be on Sara Donner's live stream, Quarantina-palooza number 9, on Saturday. And I'm very excited about that at 7 p.m. DJ will be home later tonight. I will be rearranging the cameras in the annex so that you can see what's going on top of the beanbag chair sometime today. And we'll be moving the kids downstairs sometime this week. And Belle here, sweetie Belle, is being adopted on Saturday afternoon. That's the recap. That's all the news. And that's the end of this close-up. Check out the Kitten Academy live stream if you want to keep watching kittens. I will see all of you tomorrow.